Welcome back to another video edition where we discuss everything about Chelsea Football Club. Remember, Chelsea is the club world champions. You must not forget that for the next 4 years. And this is a proud moment for every Chelsea fan. After winning the Club World Cup, a lot of things are happening at Chelsea. Movement, signings, the club, the direction, the belief among the fans, the unity between the fans and the players. Like, there is love back at Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea is sweet. Don't be small. Love Chelsea so much. So in this edition, we're going to be talking about, the things that are happening around Chelsea. First of all, Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson has found himself in a situation where he's struggling. To be honest, he's struggling. He doesn't know whether he needs to leave or he needs to stay. Chelsea gave Jackson 2 good years to make, a meaningful something out of the number 9 position. One of the problems Jackson faced is constantly missing opportunities. I don't take hard work away from Jackson. He's a very hardworking guy, but the pressure at Chelsea swallowed him. The pressure at Chelsea, missing simple chances. He could have scored more goals if he had been taking chances given to him by Cole Palmer or tried to even give more assists. It's difficult for him to cope. You can see what happened after the Club World Cup. After Chelsea won it, he nearly lost his head against Luis Enrique. That is after thought of, the reaction that is going on inside him. He's really, really disappointed. Right now, a lot of clubs are coming to buy Jackson. And one of those clubs are Manchester United. In fact, Manchester United are interested in signing Jackson. A lot of Man U fans have been saying no to Jackson. They don't want Jackson. Jackson is this, Jackson is that. But let's be honest here. Jackson versus Højlund, who is better? When it comes to, pressing, Jackson is better. Passing, Jackson is better. Running, Jackson is better. Giving more to the team, Jackson is better. Staying fit, Jackson is better. Probably left foot. Left foot, that's where you will say, Højlund is better. Man U fans are saying that they don't want Jackson anywhere near the club. A lot of clubs are interested in signing Jackson. One of those clubs are AC Milan. AC Milan is a club that is always looking for an opportunity to buy a player for a cheap amount. Remember when Chelsea wanted to buy Maignan? They told Chelsea to pay at least 20-25 million. I don't know how much they quoted, but Chelsea asked them to sell Maignan for 50 million. They said no. Now, Chelsea are saying 45 million or 42 million they want to buy Jackson. Jackson is way more than that because the striker market is so dry. Look at the price of Hugo Ekitike. Look at the price, Newcastle are anticipating to get from Isak. Look at where do you get strikers? Look at Victor Osimhen. Look at every striker right now is very expensive, and there are very, very few of them. Even Votemade, from Stuttgart is so expensive. So Chelsea know that Chelsea are in a good position for clubs that are interested. A lot of Premier League clubs are looking for a striker. In fact, there is even a report that if Arsenal could not complete the signing of Gyökeres, because it looks Arsenal are closer, but it is not yet done. It looks as if there's still some disagreement between Arsenal and Sporting. The Sporting directors and the agent of Gyökeres are negotiating with Arsenal, but it looks as if Arsenal could not be able to get Gyökeres, they will switch to Jackson. Jackson will remain in the Premier League. That's what I'm thinking right now. He will remain in the Premier League. He's that good. He can be able to do a good job. He can be able to, work so hard off the board. But what is happening right now is that Chelsea knows that they can get good money from Jackson, and Chelsea are anticipating good money. So Man U, Arsenal, probably. And other clubs, all these other clubs, Everton are looking for a striker. Calvert-Lewin is no longer with them. Broya is no longer with them. If you look at it, Newcastle are looking for a striker. They could not be able to agree terms with, Ekitike. Wilson have left. You go to Aston Villa. Aston Villa are looking for a striker because Arsenal could be able to turn to Oli Watkins. You go to different clubs are looking for strikers, especially top clubs. So if you watch the movement, you know that it's going to be an important one for Chelsea. And Chelsea are not overtly saying that Jackson must leave. Chelsea are saying that Jackson can leave, but he can also decide to fight for his position. But knowing the body language of Jackson, I don't think Jackson wants to fight for his position. I think Jackson wants to leave. I think Jackson wants to go to where he will be number 1, just like Petrovic. And that is, by the way, if you look at Chelsea also signing João Pedro and Delap, Chelsea fans are not really appreciating. Chelsea fans like to complain without looking at the brighter side of things. One thing about me, if you're on this channel, is that you must know that I'm always a positive person. You don't look at a club that quickly secured Delap, quickly secured João Pedro. These two signing is a masterstroke by Chelsea. Imagine Chelsea waited and waited up till now. Do you know how many clubs that would have rushed into, João Pedro? João Pedro is a massive signing. The lap is a 30 million for the lap. Look at how much Chelsea wants to sell, Jackson. Chelsea are placing him on the upwards of 60, 70 million. But Chelsea bought the lap for 30. That's a proper striker. Very young and still growing. So you don't get it. You will get it in future. You probably that time you start appreciating what job these guys are doing, and that is incredible. Then moving on, Chelsea are still looking on to bringing in some attackers into the squad because Chelsea are anticipating that some players will leave. I'm anticipating that Nkunku will leave. Nkunku will definitely leave. There is a report that Bayern Munich are interested in signing him. But Chelsea are still looking for more attackers. Chelsea are not shutting the door against signing attacking players. Chelsea fans might be wondering, why is this like this? The reality is that Chelsea knows that some players are slated to leave the club, especially players like Nkunku. There is strong interest from Bayern to sign Nkunku. Nkunku is a player at this stage. I don't think Nkunku wants to stay on the bench. Nkunku is at the stage he wants to play regularly. In fact, he wants to be the main man at any club he's going to. When he came to Chelsea, he has this mindset of being the main man. Of course, Chelsea signed him as a main man because nobody knew that Kopama could be able to have this instant impact. But, injuries, loss of form, not adapting to Premier League and a lot of things, Kopama grasped the opportunity and was able to start showing his strengths, his abilities and everything. Kopama is now the shining star. So Nkunku now, telling Nkunku to remain on the bench, Enzo Maresca have shown that Kopama is not benchable. If you want to fight with Kopama, it's like a lost fight because Kopama is performing every day with humility and hard work, giving assists and scoring goals, being important in decisive games. So I believe Nkunku will leave, and there is this relationship, or there is this talk about Nkunku going to Manchester United and Garnacho coming to Chelsea. It could be something that will happen. I want to talk to Chelsea fans, especially about Garnacho. I've been seeing a lot of comments from Chelsea fans. Garnacho is a failure, this and that. Garnacho's situation, I can liken it to the situation of Gittins. Gittins was played as inside winger than outside. These are outside wingers. Garnacho wants to remain at the width. Garnacho is not that player you ask to come and score goals. If Garnacho moves to Chelsea, expect Garnacho to score 5, 6, 7, 8, maximum of 10 goals. It's enough. Just like when Sancho came to Chelsea. Sancho was not asked to score many goals now. Sancho was asked to do the job. Garnacho will do a better job at Chelsea than he has done at Manchester United. He's an Argentine. Can Garnacho play better than he's playing at Man U? Yes. Is Garnacho a good player? Yes. He's underutilized, or the system does not suit him at Manchester United. There's a reason these clubs are looking for him. If you look at the underlying facts, hard working, off the ball, running back, defending, running forward with the ball, Garnacho gives it. And when Garnacho plays with the likes of Kopama, quality players like, the lap, like João Pedro, Enzo Fernandez, another Argentine, he can be able to relax and play well. So I don't like the bandwagon, especially from big accounts, whenever Chelsea, don't sign Garnacho is a bad player. I don't want this guy near my club. Come on, calm down. Calm down. The people that are up there making this decision, they're looking at statistics, data, looking at, touch points. So many things you don't have access to. And that is why I always allow everything to play out. Just like Gittins. If Chelsea sign Garnacho, wide player, or your job is to make the pitch wide. Garnacho is the player that can dribble you to come into the 18-yard box. But if Enzo Maresca can teach him, dribble and release the ball, fine. And his interest is remaining in the Premier League. I wish Chelsea would get him. Because I will back Garnacho to do a good job at Chelsea. You understand? So, he's not in the situation of messing Mount. He's always very fit. He's always ready to play. His attitude can be molded. I know at Manchester United, it looks as if he's a stubborn guy. But a lot of things are going wrong at Manchester United, for crying out loud. So I believe Chelsea getting in Garnacho will be a good one. I don't see Chelsea, even when Jackson leaves, Chelsea going for another striker, because there's already the lab, there's already João Pedro, there's already, Tyrick George that can do it. I don't know the situation of McGee. If Jackson leaves, probably McGee will remain at his club. So there is still enough cover for Chelsea, and I believe that is good enough. Chelsea going into this season, one thing I must tell you is that Chelsea have really done a good job. There's no preseason again for Chelsea, but Enzo Maresca have done a good job. Winning a trophy gives the players confidence, number one. Number two, he has been able to embed the new players quickly. The lab is already embedded. João Pedro is already embedded. That is incredible. And then looking at it, probably Yorehato and maybe Garnacho. This is what I'm seeing Chelsea doing. And then that's all. If Nkunku leaves and Jackson leaves, I believe Kenan Hall can step up. He can play the position as a deputy, and he has accepted to be a deputy to Cole Palmer. He can do it. Kenan Hall step up. There's Ja Pedro. There's the lap. Remember, there is Estêvão Willian coming in to take the place of Noni Madueke. So everything is already okay. They don't need to do much to fit players in. The players have already understood how Enzo Maresca wants to play. Remember, the tactics he used in the final, his same tactics he used against Flamengo and Chelsea lost. He wanted to try it, and he tried it, and that tactics gave a massive win against PSG. Expect Chelsea to use, expand the width, use auxiliary number 2 like Malo Gusto flying forward in this season. And I believe after 3 weeks of break, they will come back, train for 1 week, and the Premier League starts. It's going to be an exciting one. Let me know what you think about Chelsea Football Club. Everything that's going on. This player going, this player coming in. There's not much. Chelsea have done 70% of the transfer, business apart from outgoings. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, do wait to follow us. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon.